Alright. Hey, what's up, everyone? I just want to say thank you so much for clicking on my first ever YouTube video. I am Holla Leverett, and this is going to be a start of a new Sim series where I'm revamping the entire world in preparation for doing a Rags to Riches series, which I might also eventually turn into a legacy challenge. And we're starting off today with the Streamlet Single. My goal for this one is I'm turning into a double. I'm not keeping this as a starter house because I'm going to be moving some Sims just straight into it just to have a bunch of background characters in my series once I do eventually start that up. So we are going to be changing this from a single to a double. I have to say, as I'm going, you will not recognize this house anymore. I change a lot of it. I keep the main structure of it the same, but I added another bathroom, another bedroom, open floor plan, and let's go. So here we are. We're just deleting everything, starting off new. I extended off that little edge to the side a little bit. I'm completely redoing the porch, adding new steps, new roofing. I'm changing the roof a little bit on here. I'm I'm like completely recoloring it. I went with a very neutral, like black and white. Here's me putting my cheats in. I am I'm very guilty. I am someone I cannot build without BB dot move objects. That is like my best friend. Here I am putting the windows in. I completely changed like the style of window that was on this house. This is me. As you can see, I kind of made like three bedrooms, but as you'll see later in the video, I only ended up really turning two of them into actual bedrooms. Here I am changing the outside. Like I said, I love the green. It's very cute. But just for like to go with the vibes of how I'm doing the town, I went with a more neutral black and white tones for the house. You'll see like little glimpses of the house I built next door, which is also like another black and white. Here I am working on like a garden area. I did like a little stone path, making some flower beds. I am as the series goes on and I'm revamping these, you will see I do a lot of landscaping. That is one of my favorite parts of this game is being able to do landscaping and add all these plants and see how I can do it. Here I am just going along the side, adding some grass, trees, trying to make it look as natural as I can because that's a big thing for me is just making sure I can keep things as natural. Uh, Adding in the doors. And I wanted to, for the master bedroom, I wanted to give it almost like a closet space. And instead of putting like an additional door, I did a archway there. Here I am trying to choose just some flooring for it. I did hardwood, switched it to carpet. Absolutely hated the carpet. I want to like carpet in The Sims so bad, but it never works out. Here I am painting the walls. Again, I went with a very neutral tones for the flooring and the walls, grays, wood tones, whites. Just because I feel like it's easier to match things with that. Here I am adding more landscaping because I decided to do like a little bush walkway to like line it. I have these custom content stones I put. Here I am making like a little barbecue area. I have to say, just building the outside of this house took about 40 minutes. Um, Altogether, I believe this build took me about 4 hours, and I've managed to dwindle it down. I think I have about, after speeding it up, I dwindled about 4 hours of footage down to about, I'd say, 17 minutes. The video's a bit longer because I wanted to do a nice intro. Here I am working on the outside porch. The what I you'll see for me as I love plants. I put plants in almost every single build. I just put a little easel out on the porch, and then that was the end of the porch. Here I am actually starting on the inside. If you're wondering what I was doing, I was struggling because I wanted the closet to be a little bit of a raised platform, and I completely forgot how to do that because it's been so long since I played. Here I am turning my cheats again because I filmed the first half working on the outside and then working on the inside on 2 separate days. This is the like main like bathroom that guests will be allowed to have. I did like a freestanding shower with like a glass pane to like mimic a wall. And I ended up going with like a nice like, as you can see, like a black neutral tones for this bathroom. I made sure to keep it like very natural colors, but also I wanted my house to feel lived in. And I'm just an eclectic person. I am very much live by the motto, uh go big, go home, decorate to your heart's content. And you will see that with this build. I am constantly decorating. I'm adding more and more stuff throughout it. I will go back and forth between rooms trying to figure out where I want things. I love having artwork on the wall. I love filling up the shelves. Hence why I have to use BB dot move objects because I am very much trying to make things look lived in. But yeah, this is the main like bathroom that like if they have guests over, use this bathroom. So I kept this one very like black and white neutrals just because it's less of a personalized area. As I said, this house I changed into a double because the lore behind this house is it's going to be two sisters, uh, an older sister who is a musician and she plays, and that's how she pays the bills. And then she has her younger sister who lives with her. And I don't quite know their names. I have to make them. I might do a couple like short videos of me doing like my creative sims. I don't know how well those will, if how short those would be. Usually it takes me anywhere from like 2 to 3 hours to make a single sim. Um, I don't know if you can tell as like my little menu goes through, I am a custom content heathen. I have so much CC is absolutely insane. But yeah, so this house is there's going to be two sisters who live in it. Here I am starting on the master bedroom ensuite. For her bathroom, I went very cream tones. The way I see her, she's a very spiritual, eclectic girl. She's dainty, very ladylike, and she very much loves like neutral tones. I wouldn't quite say like she's a beige girly, but she's a clean girl. Like she loves the clean girl aesthetic to a point because as you'll see, I do like decorate. This is just me working on her bathroom, doing like some skincare products up in the shelvings, towels, uh, trying to figure out what kind of decoration. I discovered this bath has like a little bottom shelf, and so you'll see I'll put like a bunch of like different like bath products down there with some like incense just to make sure the room smells good. Even though like I know it's a game, but I like to try and make my Sims houses feel lived in. I add some slippers, there's the incense. Here I am just trying to add some like different like bath products. I was trying to find a little plant to put down there, but it just didn't work out. Here I am. Okay. And then here we are starting on that little closet area that I told you all about. This closet has to be one of my favorite closets I've built in The Sims so far. I love how like lived in it feels. I added a bunch of different little details to it, like sweater on the wall, hats. I added a little bit of artwork in there because she just feels like the type that would have the artwork. I love the little line art. I I'll have to go and see if I can find like a list of all the CC I used in this, but I used a lot. Here I am just lining the counters in there with like different accessories, a little sign, adding some like makeup products, more accessories, just like the way you would imagine someone would decorate like their closet to a point, because it is like a little extra, but honestly, like this was how I would decorate my closet if I had like a walk-in closet like that. And oh, if you wonder why the video pauses like that, I absolutely suck at editing. Hopefully I will get better as time goes on, but those are just times where I like have to step away from the computer to do something. I tried to edit them as best as I could, but I messed up sometimes, as you see. Here I am working on the bedroom. Again, with her bedrooms, I went with more neutral tones. It's not the case for this entire build. I do add like pops of colors, especially in the teenagers' room. That light has to be one of my favorite lights because I just like sometimes I like the looks of non-traditional lights. I think they add a little more personality. Add a little curtain over the archway as kind of like, oh, she can have it open, she can have it closed. Here's a little like table I put like a magazine box underneath. Here I am just trying to figure out if I can make this blanket work. It spoiler, it doesn't. Adding a little bit more to the closet. You'll see me do that a lot throughout the like this whole series. I will find something as I'm looking through that I didn't notice at first, and I will just go back, add it in. I added some like shoes underneath as like a little node, and here I am adding more like plant things. I love that light, and I never get to use it. I built a little custom shelf in this little office area or desk. I have like these two things. I added them, and it's great because it works as like two desks in one. Added some items because, like I said, the older sister, she is a musician. She writes her own songs. Like she pays for the bills of this house all with her music. That was just the lore I came up with her. uh, Adding some paintings and artwork to the wall just to make it feel a little bit more authentic. I was trying to find like a regular floor lamp and it was not working out. So I ended up doing like a little desk lamp and put some I put like a round like chandelier type light in there, but it looks like I accidentally edited that out. Here I am starting on the teenagers room. And this room has to be probably one of the most colorful rooms. I put a lot of pinks in here. I know right now you can't really tell, but as it goes on, like the little vanities, like this dusty pink. I gave her like a little chair in the corner. Gave her another dusty pink chair. Ends up it was the same chair I had in the office, so I ended up changing those out. Here I am working on the vanity. Has like a lot of different products on it. I wanted it to look like an actual teenager's like messy vanity. Gave her a little pink dino because when I was a teenager, I still had stuffed animals, and I wish I had a big old dino like that. I mean, as an adult, I have like a giant 3 foot tall Build a Bear frog. So I'm like, added some pride flags on the wall because when I was a teenager, that's what I had on my wall. And here I am. Ended up scaling down this city living bookshelf because it matched the vibe that I was going for. I really wanted a pink bookshelf, and that was the only one I could find in a pink that I liked. Here we are going onto the counters of the kitchen. You'll see me move things around because I was like, I couldn't quite figure out how I wanted it. I ended up putting like this island in, and I will have it to where that island is where their main eating area would be. So I ended up moving it out just to expand the kitchen a little bit more because it was feeling a little thin. I did like this little oven stovetop combination, and I did ended up going with darker cabinets just to give a little bit of contrast. Here I am starting to like try and make the cabinets feel more realistic. I filled it up with plates, some like coffee products, and other items. Sorry. It's like 2 in the morning. I don't know why I decided to film so like here I am again trying to just make the kitchen feel lived in. I add some like oil and vinegar bottles, cutting board. Here I am trying to figure out like a little coffee corner. I ended up going over here, which I ended up loving because I got to put like all these little coffee syrups, these cute mugs I have, some like more coffee. And then I love this little coffee time sign, one of my favorite CC items. Over in this corner, I did like a little bit of just random stuff. Have like a little crystal plate, cookbook, some like whisk and spatulas, little matcha container as it's called. I found this little whisker thing is again went back, added that to the little coffee area, added a little bit more cookbooks, add like a drying rack. Here I am just looking for random stuff. Ended up putting some like food like in jars, like pasta, salt, pepper looking stuff. More spatulas. Here I'm just looking around trying to figure out living room area. I went for a very more I'd say like simple. We did a little pink couch, other neutral tones, little table behind so that I could put like some plants and like a little crystal thing. Trying to just figure out with this dead space. I ended up doing like a little sitting area and I put like a little record player on top just to give it, and I added like a little it's like a flower drying thing from Seasons and more plants, trying to just figure out how to make the space feel more alive. Here I am adding more plants into the teenager's room. I have this like dress on mannequin from like custom content. Put that in there. Here I am looking around just because I wanted to put the shoes. Ended up putting those outside on the porch. I was like, oh, they have to take their shoes off when they come in. Added some pillows to the couch. And then here I am. I'm like sitting here searching for more items to put into like the older sister's room. I had more shoes to under her little table. And here's the finished product. So this is what we ended with. And here we go, turning into like afternoon. But yeah, so that was my rebuild. It's gonna cut to the old one in a second. Maybe. I'll see how I cut it. But here's the rebuild for my new world. You can see the house next to it. I don't have a video of me building that, but if you all do want a tour of that build, uh please let me know. I will gladly make it. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining me on my very first YouTube video. I can't wait to start this series as I'm rebuilding more and more of the houses. I'm eventually going to go on to the non-starter houses, like the Goss, the Pancake House. Like I'm gonna work on all of them. And once all that finishes, I will start a Rags to Riches. But again, thank you. My name is Hollow Leverette. And please subscribe, comment, and like this video if you want to see more. Have a good night, and I can't wait to see you all down in the rabbit hole.